Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, the EU has said tonight that it has completed its planning for a no-deal Brexit and warned again that the scenario remains the most likely outcome. But what of our own planning for possible no-deal border delays? Today, Operation Brock began on the M20 in Kent. Part of the motorway is now reserved to allow up to 2,000 Dover-bound lorries to be parked up if there are delays at Dover. Our business editor, Siobhan Kennedy, has been to see the scheme in action and has details on the government's plans to allow importers to defer duty payments for 6 months, a plan one customs expert described as having fraud written all over it.
Britain's departure from the EU may have been delayed, but the dummy run down to Dover hasn't. This is Junction 8 of the M20, the crucial trade connection to the continent, where from today Operation Brock has kicked in. No tailbacks yet, but this 13-mile stretch stands ready to hold up to 2,000 lorries in the event of no-deal chaos. While Brexit may have reached a standstill in Westminster, here on the ground in Kent, it's all about keeping the traffic flowing. They're pressing ahead today with their no-deal plans regardless, and a new traffic management system here designed to keep the trucks rolling on down to Dover as smoothly as possible, and for the lorries coming off the ferries at the port, waving them through with minimal checks.
We are sitting on a situation that could be described as a powder keg, but we don't know who's got the light or who's got the fuse.
Norman Kemp owns a bus company near Maidstone. In the event of no deal, he's worried his fleet will be caught up in the gridlock, especially if Operation Brock spills over to stacking lorries on other motorways.
If we get as far as the M26 being used as a lorry park, the congestion will affect the M25. If the M25 is congested, that means that London becomes congested. Then we're going to be in trouble big time, not just as a business, but as a county.
If Operation Brock is the plan to keep the wheels rolling to Dover, what about the trucks coming off the ferries full of goods imported from the EU? This 60-page document, obtained by Channel 4 News, complete with complex flowcharts and diagrams, belies a very simple solution underneath: to wave the trucks through and allow EU importers to defer payment of duties or taxes until 6 months after we leave the EU, effectively putting hundreds of millions of pounds in revenue on hold. The government defended its decision to wave the trucks through, saying the scheme was time-limited and designed to help businesses. But one senior customs official inside Dover told me the plan had fraud written all over it and said ministers were clearly prioritising flow over control. And of the 250,000 potential importers to the UK, just 50,000 had so far signed up to take advantage of the scheme. The Financial Secretary to the Treasury, Mel Stride, had agreed to an interview, but then cancelled. Instead, in a statement, he told us that under the new scheme, all tariffs would still be due, and
HMRC will continue to tackle avoidance and evasion so that we have a level playing field for law-abiding UK businesses, and Border Force will continue to carry out checks as they do now.
So let's imagine the trucks roll through and Dover's a breeze. What happens once British trucks arrive on the continent? Today the EU said checks and tariffs would immediately apply to UK goods if there's no deal. And that means one thing: this motorway could very quickly go from this to something more like this.
Siobhan Kennedy reporting.